I'm going to move to the next question here, which comes from @JMurphy6767. The question here is, I understand why it's not good to pay for taxes on conversions out of the withdrawals, but if you wait for RMDs, aren't you more likely then to do so? Yeah, the answer is absolutely. So back to the Inception, the movie Inception, this idea of you withdraw from a pre-tax, you pay the cost of the tax from the pre-tax, which increases the pre-tax withdrawal, which increases how much tax you pay, which increases the pre-tax withdrawal in this recursive loop. That's absolutely the case. The problem or the question is it worth it? Again, it all comes back to, is it worth it? That's not a problem unless you can identify or define the cost of the problem. Does that make sense? So like I said earlier, RMDs are not necessarily a problem because they're RMDs. And withdrawing money from a pre-tax bucket and paying tax from a pre-tax bucket is not necessarily a problem unless it's a more significant problem than what you would pay earlier to eliminate that quote unquote problem, and unless it's in excess of what you would give up in order to eliminate that problem. So I'm not saying you should or shouldn't do it. I'm just saying, like, yes, that is a function of how withdrawals from pre-tax accounts work. I'm not sure that's a problem. It depends on your personal situation, and it requires running through this evaluation. The issue here is here's part of the fundamental issue. It's really easy for someone to go on YouTube, do an illustration, and show this Inception doom loop of recursive withdrawal from pre-tax, pay the tax from a pre-tax, do a bigger withdrawal, pay more tax, it's really easy to show that. But that's completely an absence of all the things you have to evaluate it against. Once we show it compared to what we have to evaluate it against, it's a lot easier. But the problem is, it's like a counterfactual. It's almost like a straw man. It's impossible to attack that issue because, yes, what you're showing in the video is a problem, but you have nothing to compare it against. So you can't even attack the fact that there's nothing to compare it against. And it's like limiting someone's ability to make a decision by limiting their peripheral vision. We don't even know how to evaluate it. So that is one of the reasons I don't really like that kind of framework of looking at Roth conversions, because it's like, yeah, it's a straw man. If anybody knows what a straw man is, it's like straw man is just like the weakest form of evidence that completely negates all other possible areas in which that could counter my point. The best way to make a really good argument is to show the argument you're making and then all of the points that work against it, and prove out loud why all the points that work against it are overcome by the solution we're presenting. And so that's how I've thought about it. It's like, if I can't make a compelling case in a video that is a steelman case for this scenario to do Roth conversions, I'm not going to show it. And I think people have interpreted that as a tilt against Roth conversions. And maybe that is what it is, because the truth is, when I run these evaluations, I just don't end up with being able to do a steelman case and show that the Roth conversion is worth it. Does that make sense? Like, it's partly a product of lots of repetition. So I don't have like a natural predisposition against it. It's an accumulated disposition against it by doing lots of scenarios and being like, wait, everything I was told, it's not as frequent or as common as I've been led to believe. And like, I'm sorry if that's the case, but like, that's the case. What do you want me to do? Lie? Like, I don't know. Like, so, and part of that is it's a bit perplexing about the industry as a whole, because it's like, why don't we have a more honest conversation about some of this? Why don't we run more scenario? And look, there's a lot of ways to look at it. Again, like, part of it is influenced by how I look at it. But I'll summarize this again, preaching here, and Roth conversions are a passionate subject for me, by saying I'm not sure it's worse to pay Roth conversion tax from converted IRA dollars versus paying it from the RMD, which will also be paying the tax from a pre-tax. Like, we have to evaluate it. None of this is useful in a vacuum, but it's a good question, and hopefully that helps. Thanks for the question @JMurphy6767. Real quick, let me show you the exact 3-pillar comprehensive retirement roadmap that takes retirees from uncertainty to peace of mind that less than 1% of retirees actually have in place. Now, I built hundreds of these for retirees, and I can say with a high degree of confidence that these are the 3 pillars every retiree needs to have in place in order to have full confidence that they're not missing anything in their retirement plan. And I broke each of these down by the specific questions. You can see them here, that each needs to be answered and the best way to answer them. Now, we've done this across pre-retirees, recent retirees, married couples, single retirees, $1 million portfolios, $10 million portfolios, all the above, and it works. And it's my gift to you today. It's absolutely free. It's in the first link in the description below this video. It's going to say free comprehensive retirement roadmap training. Just click the link, enter your info, and you'll get instant access, all for free.